I'm yeah. For the last 2 years, the Packers been the youngest team in the league. I don't know if they meant to do it or tried to do it, but they have been. They have been. McManus is the kicker moving forward. Had we had him at the beginning, maybe things would have been different. Maybe you won 2 or 3 more games. But that 23rd pick, I look at move that pick and maybe with another player to see if George Pickens want to come out of Pittsburgh, Garrett Wilson want to leave New York, and get these guys in their fifth year option and sign them to an extension and put these guys in position to just take over because you got the youngest team in the league, but you still made the playoffs. But you can still see there's a little daylight between the Packers and Philly.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know if team. Do you think teams? Because you're a big time journalist. Do you think teams are still falling in love with picks? Because I know back in the night, you want as many picks as possible.
Right.
But do you think teams now they're willing to trade picks to move up or for a player? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's been a fine spring for Brian Gutekunst and the Packers, but
Yeah.
they've got a Super Bowl window here contractually with the way things are kind of set up, even after paying Jordan Love. You've got an opportunity to go for it.
Yeah.
You should. I'm with you. Trade a
Yeah.
pick, trade a future pick, get a
Yeah.
veteran, get somebody who's proven, get an A, maybe just even an A minus, B plus talent on either side of the ball. It seems like a very, very sound, solid roster,
Yeah.
1 through 53, that's lacking a game wrecker. Pick your position, whatever the position is. I tell you what, Leroy, being around those Philadelphia Eagles down there in New Orleans all week for the Super Bowl
Oh,
opened my eyes to
yeah.
how I'm going to view the Packers, the Bills here in Western New York, any team that's kind of knocking on the door. Like you need to take some swings. You need to take some chances. The
Yeah.
Eagles take chances that I
Yeah.
don't think Green Bay even remotely considers. Maybe Brian Gutekunst is a little more open-minded than Ted Thompson was
Oh, yeah.
when it,
Yeah.
when it comes to the quote unquote red flag on the rap sheet. But whether it's taking a chance on a player in the draft or
Mm.
trading draft capital for a player, I'm with you. It's like the two names that you threw out there. I think everybody listening's conditioned to think, oh my God, Green Bay would never do that. But maybe Green Bay's got to start thinking like that. They got to
Yeah.
start thinking that way if they're interested in Super Bowls instead of bashing their head against the wall in the playoffs. Bob McGinn laid it out there on a podcast right after they lost to Philadelphia in that wild card game. It's very rarely do coaches get to year 7, year 8, year 9 with the same team without winning the Super Bowl. Like it's time for Matt LaFleur in Green Bay, Sean McDermott in Buffalo, these coaches who have been in this
Yeah.
game year to year to. It's very very similar situations, really. Uh, so that would be one way, right? It's not just pandering to your fan base. I think it's what's best for the team. Trade
Mm.
that pick for a player. And I don't even know if Garrett Wilson wants out. If Aaron Rodgers was sticking around the Jets, he'd want the hell out of there. You know that much.
Yeah.
He didn't like playing with that quarterback and his usage in the offense. So Green Bay caught a bad break there that they moved on from Aaron Rodgers.
I didn't think San Francisco, I knew San Francisco was going to start dumping players, but they were just getting rid of. I didn't see Debo Samuels for a fifth round pick going to the Commanders, another team that you got to worry about. And
Whew.
Detroit is a team that's still good. They lost their coaches, but they still got great players. So you have to look at the entire like NFC keeping up with the Joneses, and then you see Minnesota, Jonathan, they kid Jonathan, the big tackle came from the Commanders, gave him 60 million for 3 years. I'm like, oh boy,
Right, Jonathan Allen.
Jonathan Allen. So I'm like, okay, they're just missing a quarterback, which they say they're not doing the Aaron Rodgers thing. And I'm gonna tell you my experience. Whenever somebody tell you stuff like, "Hey, I'm gonna be a good father today," you don't need to tell us. Just be a good father. Whenever somebody say we're not in on it, they in on it. Okay, they're in.